Halloween to carve out huge 65 million plus debut. Halloween should keep powering the domestic market as Universal's R-rated slasher film eyes a massive opening in the $57 million to $65 million range.
I'll tell you something.
Yes.
The fact that they rated this R makes me want to see it a lot more. Because so many of these fucking movies, I'm like excited, like, oh, I heard about Venom initially. I was like, Venom, and it's like PG-13. It's like, what? Then a horror movie specifically, they should be rated R.
Yeah, I mean, a slasher.
Well, slasher,
sure.
yeah. I mean, there's obviously psychological other ones. Maybe a PG-13 label would be fine, but
So the studio, they're cautiously anticipating a $50 million opening, but industry analysts think it might be even past $70 million. Even the lower part of the range would easily shatter records for the best launch in the Halloween franchise. The 2007 reboot holds the distinction now with $26 million. So for some reason,
so why do people think this one's going to do so much better than the other?
well,
the previous
they have
installments?
polling and they can do things that kind of test what kind of level people are talking about it, what kind of buzz.
So there's a lot of
there is.
excitement and buzz about the movie.
So there's big buzz around this Halloween, and I think a lot of it has to do with them scrapping most of the films from the series and just saying, all right, none of this happened. This is a direct sequel to the first movie.
especially Halloween 3.
None of this is canon anymore. Only the first John Carpenter film is canon, and this is canon.
So the Rob Zombie shit has also been wiped away.
All of that's gone. This is a direct sequel to the original 1978 Halloween. They have John Carpenter on as both producer and he's scoring the film, which a lot of people he scores all of his films. He's kind of I think almost takes that more seriously than he does directing.
Well, Paul, you're the big horror person on our group.
What do you think about
make
this?
of it?
This film.
I think the reason it's big kind of harkens back to that story we just covered. I think that the fact that a big horror movie, a slasher movie, which, like, let's be honest about the slasher genre, they're violent, they're gory, they're seedy, sexually kind of manipulative. They're not PC at all. They're anti-PC. And I really think that that's what's going on here. I think that we're seeing a resurgence in people to see things that push the edge, push the envelope, that aren't corporate and packaged and easy and nice and fluffy. We've gone through that era now. We've been in the everything's nice and happy and
so
upbeat.
you think this might be a signal that people
Yes.
are returning to the bosom of the edge?
Not only that, but it's a signal for people's desire to go back to that. When this movie came out, Halloween, the first one, it was the
70s.
80s. The late 70s, right?
Yeah.
So right on the front edge of that new edgy kind of counterculture that became the 80s and the 90s. People want that again.
Well, look at people feel about wrestling. Like wrestling's ratings are way down
People want it to be less safe.
because
Right.
we've gone so safe with shit like when we were kids. Wrestling's like chair shots to the head,
Yeah, the
extreme
Attitude
rules.
Era. Yeah.
You know, they're all they had that paper where the woman showed her tits.
Oh,
and was for a
time.
second it was like, oh my god, this is fucking crazy. This shit's like out there now. It's like everything is family friendly and brand safe.
It was more than
and it's
that, though.
fucking
with the
it's in the
wrestling.
toilet.
It was characters that were,
Yeah.
kind of racial stereotypes, but it was funny because they were
Yeah,
portrayed
and-
in funny ways
there
that
was-
mirrored reality.
They like threw a baby at one point.
Yeah,
You know,
crazy
like-
kayfabe moments and
They-
like weird misogynistic, like if I win this fight, I get your girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but it all worked because it was just like a parody of itself, and people liked that because it wasn't
It was so outrageous.
clean cut and just prepackaged and homogenized like everything else they were being fed.
I mean, and so much of what we get now, like I just all the time watch movies from the 70s, from the 80s, and there's just so much in them that would now just be considered, oh, it's problematic, oh, it's problematic, oh, it's problematic. It's like, this is a movie. It's not a guidebook for how to live your fucking life.
Yeah.
All right, we're allowed to see flawed characters who do things we wouldn't do and live vicariously through that.
But
you
now
know?
every part of every movie is under scrutiny. Like I remember the Rock was cast as was John Henry, and they're like people are like, oh my god, he's not
black enough.
not
Yeah.
black enough, and it's like, what kind of world are we living in where you care so much about this?
when is Hollywood going to look at that polling you mentioned earlier where 80% of people apparently hate PC culture and stop catering and tailoring their movies to the 20% that do?
I don't know.
You know, and look, do I have a problem at all with there being different sorts of entertainment for different sensibilities? Hell no.
No.
If there's, do I have a problem with there being shows with an SJW sort of perspective? And I know the term SJW is getting kind of old hat, but I don't know what else to fucking call them. Do I mind that? No.
Puritans.
I even watched some of it. Like, I love BoJack Horseman on Netflix. It's a very SJW fucking leaning show. It makes fun of them too, but it pulls its punches there.
It's possible to be funny without being outrageous and offensive.
Right. But you know what? All I'm asking for is, like, can I have something for me too?
Right.
Because, like, I don't like this pussy shit. You know what I like? I like tits and explosions and death and carnage and mayhem and weird shit.
And
my entertainment.
edgy jokes that push the boundaries of what's socially acceptable, and movies that want to shock and appall you and want to make you queasy and
play with racial taboos and shit. Play with gender taboos. Say things
Now's
that are
the time to
offensive.
do
Say
it.
things
Fuck.
that offend me. I want to be pissed off at a thing occasionally.
I want to care about something that I see in a movie, and I can't care about it if it's just a big glass of 2% milk.
Right.
I just can't. I'm sorry. And to bring it back home, though, I think this is a reflection of that. I think that a movie, obviously, it coming around Halloween, it being so long since we've seen a good entry in it, all the good buzz that's been behind it, that leads to it too. But I really think ultimately it's a reflection of people not wanting this fucking homogenized, safe shit that Hollywood's been churning out for the last 10 years.
Well, let's hope, and the reviews look promising so far, let's hope this actually is a movie that allows itself to be at least a little bit fucking dangerous.
Well, I'm gonna go see it.
I don't want to see this movie pulling fucking punches. If it does, I'm gonna be pissed.
I think you said you're gonna go see it, TJ.
I am gonna go see it.
Yeah, I think me and Taylor are gonna see it. So
I haven't seen a movie in theaters for a while. I'm actually kind of excited for this one.
hopefully it'll fucking deliver.
And I think it is what Paul said, because the thing that's really driving me to it is, oh yeah, Michael Myers. They're going to bring him back to his roots. They're going to have him be just a fucking brutal slasher again. And I'm like, you know what? Now does seem like the time for that.
Michael Myers ain't gonna be like, I cannot kill you. You're a person of color. I will kill the white person instead. I mean, come on.
I mean, in my opinion, it was never not time for that. I would have rather this whole sea change and shit not happen, but it did, and I think that this is a good sign of the times.
Let's see what they bring us. I'm interested.